Donald Trump's approval on all other issues plummeting. Donald Trump's overall approval plummeting across the board, even in Republican pro-Trump polls.
I want to thank you for bringing Canada together. It took such a malignant, narcissistic slug like you to make us put aside all of our differences, all our regional fights, all of our concerns with each other, and realize that we actually had to stand up for something better, which is standing up for the rule of law, standing up for democracy, standing up for decency.
Trump's approval ratings just hit a basement-level low that has his team panicking. We're talking numbers so bad, even loyal Republicans are starting to back away slowly. In this video, we're diving into the bizarre social media meltdown that followed, including those weird ISIS-style videos he's been sharing. Seriously, what is happening inside that brain of his? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. Costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Have you ever noticed that when Trump's numbers start dropping, his behavior gets even more bizarre? It's like there's a direct connection between his approval ratings and his grip on reality. Lately, that connection has been on full display as his popularity plummets to embarrassing new lows. The latest polls show Trump's approval has hit rock bottom, especially on economic issues. You know, the one area where he constantly bragged about being a genius. According to a recent ABC News Ipsos poll, only 34% of Americans approve of his economic plans. That's worse than during the COVID pandemic. When your economic approval is lower than during a global catastrophe that shut down the entire country, you might have a problem. But instead of addressing legitimate concerns, Trump's gone completely off the rails. His social media presence has transformed into what can only be described as a digital asylum.
Thousands of protests like that in towns and cities across America. I'll be doing a whole other video highlighting the signs, the protests, another successful day of opposing the regime. History will not look kindly on you and your ilk. That protest I showed at the beginning of this video was from Cincinnati's 50-51 protest on Saturday.
Donald, because Canada is always going to be a country of diversity. We will always be a country of equity. We will always be a country of inclusion, and we will defend the rule of law. And if you want to continue fighting with us, you are going to lose at the end of the day.
We're talking all caps rants at 3 a.m., sharing violent content that would make most people's stomachs turn, and claims so outlandish that even Fox News hosts are awkwardly changing the subject. Take his recent Truth Social meltdown where he posted 66 times in a single day. 66. That's not a presidential communication strategy. That's what happens when you give your phone to a sugar-crazed toddler at a birthday party. One particularly unhinged post claimed, "The radical left Democrats are destroying America," with not one, not two, but 3 exclamation points, because apparently that's how serious policy discussions happen now. His fundraising emails have gotten equally desperate. The infamous MAGA surveys hitting inboxes nationwide aren't even pretending to be legitimate polls anymore. They're asking supporters hard-hitting questions like, do you think America was better under Trump? A, yes, or B, absolutely yes, or rate President Trump's presidency. A, great B, excellent C, best president ever. Real scientific stuff there. Meanwhile, actual economists are sounding alarm bells about his proposed policies. Goldman Sachs released an analysis showing Trump's tariff plans could slash U.S. GDP by billions and potentially trigger another recession. His 10% blanket tariff proposal represents the exact same mistake that economists widely believe helped cause the Great Depression in the 1930s. Nothing says economic genius like recycling the policy failures that created the worst economic disaster in modern history. The international fallout hasn't been pretty either.
You are the most loathsome president in the history of the United States, the most contemptible individual in the world right now. Hey Donald, America hates you. The world hates you. Donald Trump's approval on the economy, the lowest it's ever been, including his first term. So what's Donald Trump doing as his approval is plummeting to new lows?
Even Canada, yes, Canada, has told Trump to back off after he threatened them with tariffs. When you've managed to anger the most polite nation on earth, the country that apologizes when you step on their foot, you've really accomplished something special. Canadian officials have warned that Trump's proposals would damage both economies and create a lose-lose situation for everyone involved. What's truly fascinating is how Trump's unhinged behavior escalates in direct proportion to his declining poll numbers. It's almost like there's a mathematical formula. For every 1% drop in approval, we get 5 more all-caps tweets and 3 more conspiracy theories. If his ratings drop another 10 points, he might start communicating exclusively in emojis and random keyboard smashing. The psychological pattern is clear. Rather than addressing why voters are turning away, he's retreating further into his bubble of yes men and alternate reality. When confronted with criticism about his economic plans, Trump recently claimed at a rally that he understands the economy better than any president in history, a statement that probably made actual economists choke on their coffee. His rally speeches have grown increasingly disconnected from reality. At a recent event, he spent 18 minutes rambling about dishwashers and water pressure in showers. Not inflation, not jobs, not trade, but how many times you need to flush a toilet. Very presidential stuff. Perhaps most telling is Trump's reaction to the economic criticism itself. When Goldman Sachs published their analysis showing his tariff plans could cost America billions, his response wasn't to address their economic concerns. Instead, he attacked the messenger, calling them globalists who are afraid of his greatness. That's the equivalent of your doctor telling you that smoking will kill you, and you responding by accusing them of being afraid of how cool you look with a cigarette.
And we know that we're on your border and it freaks you out because you and your incel gang are so freaked out about diversity, equity, inclusion, your DEI nightmare. Well, we are your DEI nightmare.
And Americans and the world are letting you know how we all collectively feel about you.
I'm not saying it's not going to hurt us, but we are true, we are North, we are strong, we are free, and we are ready for this fight, Donald. So make up your mind.
His economic approval rating now stands as the lowest of his entire political career, a clear sign Americans aren't buying what he's selling anymore. The constant claims of being a business genius are falling flat as voters realize the emperor not only has no clothes, but might also be hallucinating that he's wearing a tuxedo. So here's the thing, these approval numbers aren't just statistics on a page. They're millions of Americans collectively saying, yeah, we see what's happening here. And you're not crazy for noticing the weird behavior. Every time Trump posts another unhinged rant or shares something disturbing, regular folks across the country are having the exact same reaction you are. The Orange Turd's digital meltdowns have become America's shared experience, like a national, did you see that? Moment happening in real time. So whether you're worried, amused, or just plain exhausted by it all, remember, you're definitely not alone in this bizarre reality show.